will be totally pledging my allegiance to the Republican Party and the conservative principles for which it stands, and we will go out and we will fight hard and we will win. We will win. And most importantly, we will make our country great again, because that's what it's all about. We have to make our country great again. With that, are there any questions? This is a self-funded campaign. We have our heart in it. We have our soul in it. I don't need money. I don't want money. And this is going to be a campaign like I think no other. I'm not controlled by lobbyists. I'm not controlled by anybody. I'm controlled by the people of the country in order to make our country great again. Yes, sir. I really got nothing. What the question was, what did I get for signing the pledge? Absolutely nothing, other than the assurance that I would be treated fairly. And I've seen that over the last 2 months, but they really have been very fair. No, I have no intention of changing my mind. Well, I think the big thing, Dana, that's changed is, and it's been obvious to all, number one, after I announced, we went up like a rocket ship. Nobody thought I was going to run, and they said, oh, he won't run, and he won't put in his papers, and he won't do all of this. I did that. The papers in terms of the company turned out to be spectacular. It's a great company. I built a great company. And all of the other papers have turned out to be very well received. And I think the thing that changed is the fact that I went to number one place very quickly after I signed, and after I, in this building, notified everybody that I'd be running for president. So I think the biggest thing is that I went early to number one, and the RNC has treated me with great respect. So that was very important. Yes.
When you see this, check the crowd behind him, folks, when you see this.
Circumstances under which I would tear up that pledge. When you're at 2%. One of those things. That's the way life works. Well, the chairman asked if he could come up. You saw him. He was here a little while ago. And I was greatly honored that he did come up, frankly. Right down to it, we're a nation that speaks English. And I think while we're in this nation, we should be speaking English. And that's how assimilation takes. And that's how, I mean, whether people like it or not, that's how we assimilate. And that's how we go on to that next phase and that next stage. And that's how people that don't speak English, and I'm not just talking about Spanish, I'm talking about from various parts of the world, that's how they will become successful and do great. So I think it's more appropriate to be speaking very strongly. It's a country based on borders, and our country is based on laws. And when people come into the country illegally, we should not allow that. And this is not from South America, this is not from Mexico, this is from all over the world. When people come illegally, we cannot allow that. And I want people to come legally. I want very much to take care of our border, because our southern border is a total mess. That's been proven. And interestingly, a couple of months ago when I announced, I made some very strong statements about the crime and the problems that were happening, and I've been proven right. And many of the people in this audience actually have apologized to me, which I very much appreciate. Of course, they haven't done it publicly, but these are minor details. Someday they will. The fact is that we are a nation that wants and needs borders. We're a nation that wants and needs and is based on laws, and we will make sure that that takes place. With that being said, I want people to come into our country legally. I want to have a big, fat, beautiful, open door. I want people of great talent to come in for Silicon Valley. I want engineers. I want physicists. I want people with great talent to come into the United States. When people graduate from college, you can be number one in your class at Harvard, or number one at Yale, or the Wharton School of Finance, or Princeton, or Stanford. And immediately, if you're not a citizen of the United States, you get thrown out of the country. We want those people to stay. okay. We want people of great talent to be in the United States, to work here, and ultimately to become a citizen. Was she jailed? I really don't know much about it. No. Yes, go ahead. That I can tell you. Yes. Works maybe better than anybody. I understand the political system, and I understand also very much a system of coming in for illegal immigrants. Don't forget, if I didn't bring up the subject of illegal immigration, you wouldn't be asking the question. Nobody would even be talking about immigration. And immigration, and in particular illegal immigration, has become a very big factor. Now, a lot of bad things have happened with respect to crime since I brought it up. But if I didn't bring it up, immigration would not even be a subject that we're talking about, and it happens to be a very important subject. I have to say this, it can also be a very positive subject, because I believe so strongly in immigration, and we have to stop illegal immigration, and we have to look forward to great immigration done in a legal manner. Leadership at the top. You have to be able to lead. You have to get people into your office. You have to get people, go to them, any way you want to do it. But you have to be able to lead. There is no leadership at the top. Signing executive orders is not the way our country was supposed to be run. Yeah, go ahead. Well, Tom Brady is a very good friend of mine. He's a great guy. For those of you that don't know him, he's a very honorable guy and an honest guy and a truly great athlete. He is really a very good friend of mine, and I just spoke to him a little while ago. He's so thrilled and so happy. Tom Brady, I think what they've done is terrible, and he's been exonerated, as I understand it, because I just heard about it. But I'm very happy for Tom. As far as the commission is concerned, they're having a rough year, let's face it. They're having a very rough year. Yeah, go ahead. Going in and storming, and it's a huge humanitarian problem. And I just say this, the United States has tremendous problems of their own. We have infrastructure that we have to fix. We have bridges and roads and tunnels, and everything's falling apart. Our nation's in such trouble. That's why being a builder, and a great builder, and a very successful builder, I think will greatly help. But we have so many of our own problems, including the border, including the wall, which we will get built, including all of the things we have, health care, which is a mess. You know, if you look at Obamacare, the premiums have gone up 45, 50, 55%. People are saying this is turning out to be a disaster. Deductibles are through the roof. The deductibles on Obamacare, it's through the roof. So we have a lot of problems. We have to take care of our vets. We have to build up our military. Just the other day, General Ordiano said that the Army is in the worst shape in its history in terms of preparedness. Now, for them to be in bad shape with the way we are and with the world hating us, and you look at Hillary Clinton, and I've said she's the worst Secretary of State in the history of this country. Now, in all fairness, because of the agreement that's about to be finalized with Iran, John Kerry may very well take her place. I think that agreement is a disaster for this country, for Israel, for the Middle East. It's going to lead to nuclear proliferation, the 24-day clause, everything about, we don't even get our prisoners back. You say, who negotiates a thing like that? That won't happen, I can guarantee you, with the President Trump. All right, one or two more, Glenn and Greg, okay? Great people. I would say, very simply, I just want to be treated like everybody else. You see, I was always the fair-haired boy. I was a big contributor. Nobody knows the system, but I was on the other side, and I was the elite. I was the fair-haired person. Once I ran, all of a sudden, I was a little bit of an outsider. I became an outsider because I was running, because I wasn't supposed to run. I'm this businessman that people have given me great credit as being a great businessman, but I'm not supposed to be running for office. The fact is that our country is being killed on trade by China, by Japan, by Mexico, both at the border and on trade. And I'm not knocking those countries. Their leaders are much, much smarter than our leaders. They are absolutely killing us. China, taking our jobs, taking our money, taking our base. And think of this. We owe China $1.4 trillion. And and we're paying them interest. We owe Japan, with all of the cars coming in, the same amount, $1.4 trillion. That's like a magic act. They send the cars in, they take our jobs, they do everything, and we owe them money. That's not going to happen with me. I'll be honest. I think he's a very nice person. I think he's a very low-energy person.
About Jeb Bush.
That's what the country needs. I hear that he's going to spend a lot of money on negative ads on me, and honestly, look, he's getting the money from special interests. He's getting the money from lobbyists and his donors, and they're making him do it because he's crashing in the polls. So I don't know what's going to happen. If he spends $20 million or $25 million on negative ads, I don't know. I know that my life will continue. I just don't know. I mean, nobody's ever spent money on ads against me, but he probably has to do that, although it would not be the way I've done. You know, one of the things that I'm most honored about is that so far everybody that's attacked me has gone down the tubes. You have Lindsey Graham attacked me. He was at 3%. Now he's at 0. You have Perry attacked me. Now he's getting out of the race. He was at 4 or 5%. Now he's getting out of the race. He was at 0. Everybody, Rand Paul attacked me. I see the last poll, the Monmouth poll, just came out today, where I'm leading by double figures, and Rand Paul is down to less than 2%, and he attacked me. Now, Jeb Bush also just went down in the Monmouth poll, very big. So, I don't know. I mean, they're going to spend, he's going to spend lobbyist money and special interest money. Remember this, they have total control over Jeb and Hillary and everybody else that takes that money. Nobody knows the system better than me.
Folks, we've got to get out here. We have to.